Hey Shoujo fans, welcome to episode 45 of the Shoujo Sundae podcast. This week we'll be reviewing Fruits Basket episode 13 through 15 with our special guest Vampy from the Shoujosei World Twitter account and Behind the Manga podcast. Let's dig in. I make you more than happy. Brain freeze, go chewy. Handle me. Feeling with you next to me, baby. Okay. Hi, Vampy.
Hi.
We're so excited to have you on the podcast.
Yes. I'm excited to be here, also very nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. No, it's so fine.
Mm-hmm. It's all chill shoujo vibes.
For real. And guys, I asked Vampy months in advance. So yeah. I don't know if anybody thought about that. If they're just we just tap these people. No, this is well thought out and planned. But yeah. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions before we get into the review. So could you explain, who you are and what your Shoujosei World accounts cover along with what your podcast Behind the Manga covers?
Okay, so you can call me Vampy and I run the Shoujosei World Twitter and Tumblr account, like you said. I mostly just focus on promoting shoujo and josei manga, especially series that people either don't talk about much or they aren't licensed. I really like to post about the diversity of shoujo and josei that still exists. And I originally made the account because I felt like there wasn't much marketing or just talk about shoujosei in general when I made it. I think it was last May or June, last year. I originally actually thought about being I'm gonna email Viz and be can I be the free intern that runs the shoujo beat marketing account?
Right, yeah.
Because that's how frustrated I was about it. My friends were no, don't do that for free. So I was you know what, if I'm gonna do it for free, I'll just make my own account. And I thought nobody would care. I really thought it would be an account that sits at 10 followers forever and it's just me posting into the air. But I think Colleen saw that the account existed and was hey guys, there's this Shoujosei news account now. And then I got 500 people overnight and it scared me.
Oh,
wow.
Don't be scared. No, you're providing such a great service. And guys, Colleen is Colleen Manga Rex on Twitter. They're also a very amazing, talented, versatile YouTuber. Please go subscribe to them.
Yes.
Yep. And then the other thing I like to do is I like to make release calendars specifically for all the shoujo and josei that comes out each month. To just half show what's out there, what's coming out, and also because I figured it would help people kind of budget each month, because that's what I like to do. I like to look at everything that's coming out, and that's how I decide what I'm going to prioritize. And then Behind the Manga is where we cover manga and anime news, release dates and things like that, but we also do special episodes. My favorite episode we did was one about manga preservation and kind of about how they used to go about actually doing the editing and lettering and everything for manga, and sometimes we interview people, things like that.
Yeah, they just interviewed Matagari Novels, right?
Yep, they were back for the second time.
Yeah, so they're doing big things. So go ahead and follow Behind the Manga podcast. They're available wherever you get your podcasts at. Along with following Vampy on Shoujosei World on Twitter, you're also on Blue Sky. So Blue Sky too, if you're on there.
Yeah, I'm on it. I just don't use it much yet. With the way Twitter keeps acting, I'm probably gonna have to give in and start posting on there too.
I literally gave in this week. I'm I want everyone to make the leap, so I'm definitely going to be finding you over there.
Yes. And guys, please find us over there too. We have a Blue Sky exclusive post talking about what shoujo manga would you like to defend to the ends of the earth. So if you're on there, please go and answer that. But besides that, I would also want to just ask, what do you love about Shoujosei content?
everything. That sounds so cheesy. The thing that originally drew me to shoujo is because the first manga I ever picked up, the first anime I ever watched, both of them were shoujo. First anime I watched was Sailor Moon at like 9. I watched the Sailor Moon R movie. And then the first manga I picked up, I was 10. It was just before I started 6th grade. I remember because I reread it over and over and over on the bus to and from school like every day. And it was Ion by Arina Tanimura. And originally what drew me to it was the artwork and then romance. Because I had never been, like, really interested in anything with, like, romance before at the time, because, I was just getting out of elementary school. But also nothing that I had, like, read or watched ever had anything, like, romantic in it. So I remember reading Ion, and they have, like, the hug scene, and I was like, is this allowed?
Is this allowed?
Should I be reading this? Like, I was such a, like, pure 10-year-old. Like, I couldn't even open the page all the way where they, like, hugged. Like, I would have to, like, secretly read it because I felt like I was reading something bad.
Aww. That's adorable.
But, yeah, so I'm really into, like, kind of a romance maniac, but I also really love fantasy and, like, sci-fi works and stuff. And the fact that it had female main characters doing all of this, especially Sailor Moon, like her having a whole, like, female friend group and them being kind of like the star of the show. That was also the first time I had watched or really read anything like that. That was, like, also animated, and it got me into drawing and, like, illustrating myself. And honestly kind of changed the trajectory of my life and major and my jobs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I like shoujo.
No, I love it. Honestly, because, like, can we say that what you do?
Oh, so I'm a librarian.
Yes.
I specifically do programs, so basically programming, not, like, coding, but, like, because some people ask me, they're like, programming, you mean, like, you make computer programs? I'm like, no, I mean, like, I make up and run activities and things for teenagers between the ages of 13 to 18 to do, like, after school for free and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Vampy is an angel in real life.
I'm so mean online, and then in real life, I have to be kind.
No, you're not mean. You're not mean online. Unless it's warranted. But no, I like to think of Vampy as, like, if I was untainted by life and immigrant parent expectations, then I too would have been a librarian because I wanted to be one back in elementary school.
Yeah, it was kind of completely unplanned because that's not my major. My major it's called Visual Communications Multimedia, but it's a focus in graphic design. And then my last semester of college, which I was doing bi terms actually, but they just had a job opening and I applied and I actually didn't get it originally, and then they called me back and they were like, well, there was a different position we thought would suit you better. So, like, 2 weeks later, I actually got the job at a different one. And I've been working there for, like, 5 years now.
Oh, wow.
It's fate.
And me being into anime and, like, drawing in that art style, I truly think is what got me into the job because they asked me about it in my interview.
Oh.
And I showed them my artwork.
Aww.
And they were like, I think they were like, you know what, one of the things you have to run for us is, like, an anime club for teenagers and, like, art-themed things and a lot of stuff like that. So they were probably like, yeah, she seems like enough of a nerd that could, like, interact with teenagers. I guess we'll hire her.
I love that, though.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Okay, one last question before we get into the review, guys. What are your overall feelings on Fruits Basket, the manga, and the 2019 anime?
Okay, so I read the manga. This was, like, the second manga I'd probably ever read. Probably first series. So I was only probably, like, 10 or 11 when I first started it. So I have, like, some nostalgic attachment to it because I actually made some friends in middle school through this series.
Aww.
Because they were, like, some of the only people I knew that were also into manga. Is, like, I saw them reading the, like, original Tokyo Pop Fruits Basket stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely nostalgic. It's not, like, my number one favorite series or anything, but I do still have, like, a soft spot for it. Some of the stuff hasn't aged super well,
right,
but I do still like some of the characters a lot, and I always like angsty series that, like, make you emotional. So I think Fruits Basket and, like, Arena Tenimura series is why I'm like this now.
Oh.
Everything I like, everyone's like, why does everything that you suggest make me want to, like, cry? Like, I was raised this way.
No, I perfectly understand that. And honestly, like, the same. I think I have, well, not I think, I have the Tokyo Pop, all of the volumes for Fruits Basket. I haven't gotten yen price just because, well, guys, y'all already know my financial situation, so that's just not happening anytime soon. But yeah, I think it's just so nostalgic and it just helps. It helps me learn so much about myself and other people.
Yeah. I also really like the artwork.
Right. You know, she broke her hand. That's why it changed.
I remember you posting about that, and I did not know that's why it changed.
Yeah. Like, maybe the first 3 or 4 volumes, Takaya Sensei was drawing it in, like, a more sharper way. And then she ended up breaking her hand. And it was the hand she uses to draw. And so she had to, like, teach herself how to draw again. And so that's why it looks so different.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
That's insane. Like, she's crazy for that.
Right. Like, I couldn't... Teaching myself to, like, to draw again. I mean, and I'm sure it's not just drawing, like, all the things. Like, that's a lot. But I appreciate her dedication because now we have something to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's get into episode 13. How have you been, my brother? Here's our soft serve summary brought to you in part by Wikipedia and also me because the editing was necessary.
Yes.
Okay. A few days after Tohru meets Akito, Yuki's older brother, Ayame Soma, the snake of the Zodiac, visits, much to Yuki's displeasure. Ayame takes an instant liking to Tohru and rushes her to a gyoza restaurant for lunch. He confides in her that he and Yuki have not been close for years and Ayame wishes to reconcile with him. He especially felt the need to make amends after hearing that Akito confronted Yuki at school, and Ayame became concerned that Akito's last visit would depress Yuki. Tohru comforts Ayame by relating his situation to that of her mother. Tohru's mother, who was quite young herself, only learned about a parent's worries after she became a parent herself, but she never forgot the memories of being a child. Although Ayame is unsuccessful in getting closer to Yuki, he does not leave Shigure's house until the afternoon the next day, when Hatori arrives to take him back at Hatsuharu's request. Afterward, Yuki acknowledges his brother wanting to bond with him. And that's our summary. Okay, so, Vampy, do you have a theme for this episode?
So I feel like I'm not great at picking out, like, themes, because I feel like a theme should be, like, one sentence, but then I sit there and I analyze too much, and I'm like, I don't know if this is a theme anymore.
I feel this deeply. Yeah.
Because I made, like, a whole, like, 5 bullet points. But I think I put, like, the first one was, like, repentance and regret of how you, like, treated your siblings and family members in the past, now that you're an adult. And, like, understanding such relationships better when you have a more mature, different point of view, but, like, still to remember how you felt as a child so you can effectively communicate and empathize with children as an adult, like how Tohru's mom said. And then, like, meeting halfway and understanding someone else's perspective, especially a family member.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, that's good.
All spot on for sure.
Yes, 5 stars.
I was, like, sweating, like, I don't know.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Giana, do you have a theme?
Yeah. So I have basically one of the ideas that Vampy had. I knew that there was more to the episode, but my mental capacity was like, we're just going to do one theme. So it is hold on tightly to your inner child so that you can tap into that childlike energy and wonder as you continue to age.
Yes.
Oh, that's really nice.
Thank you. What about you, Chika?
So one of them is we can at least meet halfway, which I feel like that touches on Vampy talking about how Ayame wanted to be in touch with Yuki and, like, being repenting on, like, his past behavior, and so meeting them halfway to figure something out. So there's that. The other one that I had is a quote from Ayame where he says, "You both try your hardest when it's for other people," and that was him, Ayame, talking about Hatori and Tohru.
Yeah. That was a good catch. Also an interesting comparison between the two of them.
Right, right. I can see Ayame liking Tohru based off of his feelings for Hatori.
Yeah, these 3 episodes made me, like, draw this comparison between Tohru, Hatori, and Momiji.
Yeah.
I guess I'll talk about it in the last one, but how they all connected.
Yeah. Okay, does anyone have sprinkle on top for this episode?
I do not.
I don't either.
I was, like, searching. I was like, is there any, like, repeating imagery? I don't know.
Yeah, usually unless it jumps out at me, I don't usually... I feel like sprinkles on top can be a little rare sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so let's get into Floats Your Boat. So, Giana, what is one of your likes?
I love that Shigure offers Kyo chives because he complains that he's hungry.
That's the first thing I put too.
Like, of course, you would just, like, find a way to tease him and torture him.
Right. Because honestly, who eats chives raw just by itself?
Right. Like, I love chives, but I'm not going to just eat them by themselves.
Right. Like, if they're not on potatoes, what's the point?
Right. Like, I made an omelet today that was mostly just chives and some cream cheese and bacon. Absolutely glorious. Highly recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm hungry.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, I thought it was funny that he did that too, that he's just playing with Kyo. Because they're fighting like cats and dogs. Oh,
exactly. It's just like teasing your cat.
Yeah. Vampy, what is one of your likes?
I also like a lot of the comedic parts, like when Yuki like ran up to Shigure with his brother as a snake and was like, "You need to skin and cook him right now."
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That was one of my likes too. Just like, yes, skin him.
Definitely.
Kill him. Yeah, that was one of my likes as well. I think I also had, I noted that Kyo said that he'll make food instead of waiting for Tohru. And I really appreciated that because that started to irritate me.
Yeah, honestly. Like, thank you, Kyo, for recognizing that, like, you can, in fact, feed yourself sometimes.
Yes.
You can be sustainable.
Yes.
Because when she doesn't live in that house, how are you going to feed yourself? That was the problem to begin with. At least make cereal, like, damn. But,
right.
Yeah.
I also loved Ayame lying to the principal that he's royalty just so he can keep his hair long and, like, making up this whole, like, mythology for a place that doesn't exist.
Oh my god, I had that too. That was so funny to me.
The royalty fan fiction killed me. Like,
Yeah.
like, and why did everybody have K names? Like, what?
No, I loved him going on about being fake royalty. The fact that he could improvise all of that, like, with such great detail on the spot, I was impressed, honestly.
Yeah. He was using his powers for evil. Because it's like, I think he knows that he overwhelms people. And so it's just like, I just have to turn it up a notch. And then now I can have long hair.
Yes. Like the snake he is.
Yeah. I love that when he first shows up as like human and stuff, like he gets all of the shoujo works, the elements, so the roses behind him,
Yes.
we get the shoujo like sparkles around him. He even has a moment where he like pulls Tohru's face close to his, and then it's just like another like shoujo flair of like, oh, you don't want to eat with me, something along those lines.
Yeah.
And then she was just like, oh no, I do, and she's blushing and stuff. Like,
Yes, what a beautiful introduction.
yeah.
Him and Shigure are like the master manipulators.
Oh, yeah. The
Yes.
two of them in a room is too much to handle, honestly. Their inside joke about them pretending to be in love, it is so funny every single time.
No, it just reminded me of like when I'm in other servers and stuff, and I'm just, because he said, Ayame was just like, did you cheat on me, Shigure? And it's like, I only say that when I'm screwing around with my friends. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Played Yahtzee with someone else.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was actually really funny to see Kyo finally getting mad at Ayame too, when like he wakes up in the bed with him.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, that was so good. He's like pulling him closer, and Kyo is not having it.
Yeah.
I'm like, he just picked the funniest person in the house to like do that to.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
was like,
Yeah. Do you guys have other likes?
I have one more, that's all.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really flesh it out. I'm assuming you both probably have it as well, but that ridiculous speech that Ayame goes on at school,
Oh,
he just
no.
ends it with, "You must be wondering, am I a bottom or a top?"
Yeah.
He just like proudly announces that he's a bottom all the way. And I'm just like, I forgot that this happened, so it was almost like me seeing it the first time and my jaw's on the floor. And then we just cut to Yuki sparkling in the most polite way. He's like, "Get out right now." It was such a beautiful sequence of events. lust.
Yeah, I had that as well because, I mean, who says that? He's just like, direct all of your lust towards me. And it's just like, wait, what?
Class clown behavior.
Yeah, and then he's just like, you shouldn't have an issue with it if it's between men. And it's like,
Right. No, I mean, that's questionable as far as like aging goes, but like
right. But then to just fully admit to being a bottom, like, okay.
Just pronouncing it. Like, thanks for letting us all know.
From the rooftop, yeah.
Yeah.
I also liked that, I liked that Tohru like caught up with Hatsuharu and Momiji in school. And so that's how Haru finds out that Ayame is at the house, and so he gets Hatori to go get him so that he won't keep bothering Yuki anymore. Yeah. And then I have one last one, which is basically like the end of the episode. But Vampy, do you have another like?
I think I put some of my likes under Rocky Road.
Oh, okay.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, the last like that I have is just Yuki going to thank Hatsuharu for getting Ayame away from him.
Oh, that's right. That was really sweet.
Yeah, it was so cute because he goes and like Haru clutches his like shirt to just be like, oh, do you need me? And it's like, oh, adorable. It's like similar vibes, but Yuki is not arrow friendly with his cousins. But yeah.
Yeah.
I guess let's move into banana split. What is one of you guys' banana splits?
I actually don't have any banana split.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing really confused me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine because I'll fill in, guys. So,
Thank you.
why is Tohru gardening in a dress?
Oh, you know what? That's a good point.
That is extremely fair. Honestly, why?
Because, like, I would never do that because, like, my dad gardens all the time now. And, like, ticks are a major, like, you can get ticks.
Oh, God.
Even when you're fully wearing pants.
Yeah.
I would not have any of my underbits exposed.
Underbits?
Like, I mean, she's wearing underwear, but still, like,
No, but
they
still.
can bite through that. Like,
Yeah.
Right. I didn't think about that. I should have. I was sitting there thinking of like plot confusion. And I was like, oh, I don't see anything. But you're right. The dress gardening is very important. I would not have thought about that.
yeah. Something that I was also unsure of is just Ayame wanting to check on Yuki.
Okay.
I get why he would want to, but then at the same time, it's like you're both estranged. So what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, I feel like instead of barging in there, if you want to start to repair a relationship with somebody, maybe you should, like, contact them and set up a time for you both to do something instead of just being like, I've arrived.
Right.
Be at my service. Like, we're brothers. Like, it's not going to work that way.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like maybe he was trying to cover up like some of his anxiety and nervousness by being over the top. Because like one of the scenes I did like is like when him and Hatori are walking together and Hatori's like, don't be super anxious over Yuki, like not opening his heart up yet to you. He's like, he's young and he still has to, you know, like kind of work through his emotions and basically sort of telling him like, you can't just jump into this and expect him to automatically like open up. And then you also have Ayame being like, well, I know Yuki is terrified of Akito, and so I thought I could, like, rush in and be brotherly while he's wounded and fragile, basically, but he wasn't because Tohru was there. So he's like, I'm disappointed because you took the role that I thought I was gonna use to, like, get some points with my brother after ignoring him for so long.
Right.
So I feel like, yeah, Ayame is definitely, like, selfish a little bit about it.
Yeah.
About how he's going about the whole thing, and Yuki can also tell that, and that's why he's frustrated and annoyed by him.
Yeah, while he says he's doing it for Yuki, it's really coming more from, like, his needs and what he wants out of the relationship. Like, if he wants to have a good relationship with Yuki, he should, like, find out what kind of brotherly bond he wants to have with him and not just his own idea of a brotherly bond and, like, forcing that onto Yuki.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Ayame is, like, really entertaining and like fun as a friend, but he would definitely be so frustrating as like a brother or a family member to deal with this.
I can't imagine. Can you imagine like a birthday party? Like it's your birthday party, but somehow it's Ayame's party.
Yes.
I wouldn't have a birthday party.
Right, he would not be invited. That's the thing. He wouldn't be invited, but he would show up somehow because he somehow found out about it. Like,
Exactly.
Right.
You'd have to keep it secret.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess we can go into Rocky Road, or at least that leads me into the one Rocky Road point that I have, and then we can get into you guys if y'all have some as well.
Yes.
I think in general, just Ayame, when he's talking to Tohru about wanting to be close to Yuki, you can see like this flashback of him physically rejecting Yuki, and just knowing that how lonely Yuki was and him literally reaching out to his blood brother and being rejected like that, it just made it easy for me to understand where Yuki was coming from. Because like I personally, and I mean, it's not like my family listens to my podcast, I personally went through that as well, or I've experienced something similar where it's like I was going through something and I reached out to one of my older siblings and was rejected, and that type of thing really hurts. And it's not to say that, you know, rebuilding a relationship post like familial neglect isn't possible, but I think that if Ayame truly wants it to come to fruition, then he needs to understand who Yuki is as a person now and not think of Yuki as the child he rejected, because I think that that's the way that Ayame sort of sees him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And I like that Yuki didn't just, like, immediately forgive him and be like, yes, you're my brother, of course, by the end of the episode. Like, it's something that they're gonna have to work on, and he obviously is still, like, not cool with Ayame being around.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it's not going to happen overnight.
Right. It is nice to see that depicted, where it's like just because somebody has good intentions doesn't mean you have to automatically accept their apology or their first attempt at making things better.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a Rocky Road, Giana?
I have one.
Okay.
It's just, I didn't really flesh it out, but it's just a quote from Aya that he says to Tohru when they're talking at lunch. He says, "Things we're oblivious to as children become painfully clear as we age." And I had a relatively good childhood for the most part, but it is interesting how, like, the older you get, you see how things shaped you, maybe in deeper ways than you realized as a kid, both for better or worse, I guess. Hi, it's Editing Giana here. I have a bit of a cold, so sorry. I think that after hearing my interpretation of this line from when we recorded back now, I have a different interpretation of why it made me want to put it in Rocky Road. So there are other things we're oblivious to when we're children apart from our experiences, like our personal experiences. And that's things like what actually being an adult entails. And I think that that's more of what I'm like really feeling lately. And I think that that is why this is in Rocky Road. Like when you're a kid and you think about being an adult, it's about all the freedoms that come with it and not all of the prices and responsibilities that come with it. And that certainly is a difficult pill to swallow when you get older and like you're going off to college or you need a job and you have to start paying taxes and it's like, wait, no, stop. I just want to play video games or see my friends and have dessert, but I have to pay rent. And I can't really take the amount of a break that I need to feel rested and ready to take on more work. The work doesn't stop. Oh no. And that is kind of perhaps too transparent of where I'm at mentally right now. But I think that that is why Ayame's line hit me so hard. I think that that is more what I was thinking of and not just like childhood experiences firsthand that shaped me. But yeah, I'm gonna go drink more water. Enjoy the rest of the episode. That's it. That's it for me.
Yeah, I totally see that. And I can even say that from the opposite side of as if coming from Yuki's point of view. I guess, as the younger sibling in an estranged relationship or whatever. There are distinct memories I have where it's like I said no to hanging out. And then as an older person, it's like, maybe if we hung out, we would be closer.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not to, like, unfold too much or divulge. I don't know what the word is right now. I'm sorry, my brain's half here.
No, it's okay.
But, I mean, I got teased a lot as a kid because I had a very, very short fuse and people knew how to light it. So, like, it's like I'm very sensitive to like, being picked on and stuff as I'm older. It's like, oh, I don't like that kind of energy was directed towards me. And it hits me deeper than it should, so my reaction is bigger. It's like, oh, that's because, like, when I was a kid, that happened a lot. So it's like, it's interesting when you can think on these things and realize where they come from. It's like, the more you think on it, the easier it is to, like, maybe take a step back from an emotional reaction. But, you know, life's gonna life, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah. I'm the oldest sibling in my, like, trio of sisters. My sisters are much younger than me. So they're 11 and 14 years younger than I am.
Oh, wow.
So right now, they're still, like, middle and very early high schoolers. So I can, like, kind of understand, like, Ayame a bit, where he was, like, more... Like, I'm sure the curse wasn't anything easy to deal with for anybody, so I'm sure he was kind of more focused on, like, his emotions, and kind of how he said he was kind of just doing what he wanted. Not that it makes it, like, right at all, but I can, like, kind of relate to some of that, like, having a lot of stress when I was younger and being, like, a teenager, and I wish, like, my fuse wasn't as short as it was. Because it's like when you're an adult and you realize, like, how hormonal you were as a teenager, and it's like I was a child, but also I was much older than them. Kind of like how Ayame is a lot older than Yuki. It's like you're a sibling, but you can also sort of be like a parental figure at times if your age is much different.
Yeah.
And it can, like, have, like, extra stress on you, and then you look back and you're like, there are things I wish I had handled better or differently than I did. So.
Yeah. I would say just on the opposite side, because, like, you're the oldest of siblings that are much younger, and then I'm the youngest of siblings that are much older.
Oh, I'm the youngest of one who's 2 years older and one who's 9 years older, so it's interesting.
Okay, yeah. We've got the spectrum here, but
Yeah.
Something I had to come to terms with as the youngest sibling was that even though there were times where I felt as if I was neglected by my older siblings, I had to recognize the fact that they were adolescents at that time. And they were still technically kids. They're just older. And so it wasn't their responsibility to be around me or to entertain me or whatever. Although it's nice if you, like, make time for your siblings or what and stuff, but it wasn't their responsibility to do that. And I think a lot of the time, at least with my parents, because they were off doing whatever, well, I say that off doing whatever, they were working. But, like, there was a time my mom, like, worked nights, and then my dad was, like, working during the day, but he would be around, but not really. Then it's just kind of like, who is the next person that I look towards? Oh, my siblings, if they're in the area and stuff. But that's not really their responsibility. Like, I wasn't their kid. I was their sibling. But yeah. Okay, Vampy, do you have any other rocky road?
I think we already kind of talked about how, like, Shigure talked how Ayame listens only to Hatori because he has qualities that are completely different from him, kind of like how he compares him to Tohru. But I also thought about, like, in a sense, it can kind of be a bit healthier version of how Kyo and Yuki envy what each other has, but without, like, that other underlying hatred or rift between them.
Oh.
Instead, like, Ayame really, like, looks up and, like, admires and likes that about Hatori.
I feel like that could even be a sprinkle on top, because I think that's a very good comparison.
Very deep. Yes. Good job, Vampy.
Thank you. I was thinking really hard. I was like, I gotta use all my brain power for this.
They do actually kind of show Tohru looking between Yuki and Kyo, I think, as that exchange is happening, and, like, we hear their dialogue, Hatori's and Ayame's, about, I can't remember exactly what's happening, but I know that, like, it's kind of nodded to that there is similarities between the relationship and what it could be between Yuki and Kyo and Hatori and Ayame. I just forget exactly how it was executed, but there's definitely a noticeable comparison there.
Yeah, I see it. I definitely see it. Are there any more Rocky Road?
Nope.
Not for me.
Okay, let's get into hot fudge. Does anybody besides me have hot fudge?
I have one, and I wonder if we have the same thing.
Ooh, I bet it is.
I put 2 things under dislikes instead of hate. So now I'm interested what you guys like hated. I wonder if it's just like what I put but under dislike instead.
Okay. I put Ayame slithering around Tohru's body as a snake.
Yep, absolutely not.
Yep, okay, that's what I put.
Yes. Yes. I put it under hot fudge because Tohru is a minor.
Yeah.
And I think that even if Ayame needs body warmth, he could go around her arm.
Yes.
He didn't have to go around her body.
Highly agree.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, she hadn't even really formally met him. She didn't even know, like, who he really was. I mean, I'm sure she knew he was a Soma, but, like, that's it. You know? It's all bad.
Yeah.
Yuki's rage is entirely valid.
Yeah.
Right. Which I was actually surprised that Yuki just didn't tell Kyo what Ayame did at that point.
I think Kyo would have actually murdered him.
Right. Right. It's like if you needed, I know y'all hate each other, but if you needed an ally in that moment of killing your brother, like I think Kyo would have been for it.
Yes.
But yeah, I put that under hot fudge because I was like, no.
Yeah. And also the fact that he uses that trick of like going under her dress to manipulate her into asking Yuki how he feels about Ayame. That's so gross. It's literally snake-like behavior in the worst way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he did it again because didn't he come out from like her collar again?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. It's like you couldn't just use her arm. Her arm. It's right there. Ugh. That's all I have for hot fudge, so
Me too.
let's get into ice cream you scream. Vampy, what is your other ice cream you scream?
Ayame and Shigure mentioning that they are already bored of the pleasure district by the time they were in like late high school.
Oh,
Yes!
I was like, you're what? Like, you're minors and you've been going to the pleasure district and you're already tired of it? What are you doing?
Right. What could you even do? Because you're under the curse. So how could you be tired of it?
Right. That's a really good point, Chika.
At least it was either Yuki or Kyo that was like, I feel like you just admitted to something like really fucked up or like dark.
Yeah.
I forget which of them said that, but at least they point out like, what?
Like, I can't believe you just admitted that or something. Yeah.
Yes, like what are you doing?
And then on top of it, like Ayame saying that any red-blooded boy would be interested in the red light district. Why? Why would they be interested in the red light district? Like those kids should have been expelled because who does that? Like,
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, it's one thing if you're perusing shit online, but going in person for what? Like, you could get people in jail. Like, no.
This is why Shigure is messed up. I don't like him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just been messed
Yeah.
up, yeah. Yeah.
This is why Hatori's my favorite between the 3 of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, same. Giana, what's one of your dislikes?
I will start with the lighter one. At the beginning of the episode, when Ayame shows up at Shigure's house, he is demanding that Tohru waits on him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that was really annoying. And every time he tried to rephrase it to make it better, it was somehow just as bad.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like, she's just acting like a maid. And, like, no,
Yeah.
she's not a maid. You came here unannounced and you're telling somebody to serve you? Crazy. That's crazy work.
That you just met.
Mhm.
Just met, like, violated because he went all around her body, too. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's really bad. It's not a good introduction.
No, not at all. I also okay, so I know that on the one hand, I sort of commiserated with Ayame asking Shigure if he cheated on him, but it does get to a point where it feels as if they're like gay baiting.
Okay. I mean, like, I have friends who joke with each other in that way who are not romantically interested in each other, and I find it funny as just like a joke. But I could see how, like, in media, it could be more like queerbaity.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Especially when he was just like, I'm a bottom. And it's like, are you?
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Are you? Like, did you and Shigure actually do stuff? Like, that's something I would love to ask Takaya Sensei. Did they do stuff? Because I actually wouldn't put it past Shigure.
I wouldn't either.
And they won't transform, so...
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Any more dislikes?
I do have one more. Vampy, do you have any?
No.
Okay, so my last dislike is when Tohru and Ayame are having lunch at the little, like, ramen shop, and we have two strangers walk by them, and we hear their thoughts regarding Ayame.
Oh, yeah.
They're thinking, is that a woman? I think that's a man. And my question is, why does it matter to you? Why does it matter enough to you to stop and ask that? And why was it something that they thought it was interesting or funny to put in the show? That is something that definitely hasn't aged well, in my opinion.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you know, is Ayame a girl? Is he a guy? The real question is, can you afford him?
Right.
And the answer is no. Like, no. Oh, which actually I just thought about this. Oh, look at me remembering stuff from the manga I have not reread in a minute. I think they cut this part out where Ayame actually didn't have a wallet, so Tohru was the one that paid.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I would have been fuming. That would have been hot fudge for me if it was in the show.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it was in the manga because it was like, because he transformed and I guess he left his wallet out in the forest. But I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is what happened in the manga.
That might have been in the 2001 anime. You might have just unlocked that for me.
Okay, so they were true to that particular scene in the 2001 anime, but then in this one they didn't do it. But it's in the manga.
I could be wrong. I could be misremembering, but like, that might have happened. Oh, I hate it.
Oh, no.
It's like, if you're gonna be true, aren't you supposed to be true the whole time? 2019 version? But but yeah, I guess that's it for this episode. Okay, let's get into episode 14. That's a secret. Here is our soft serve summary brought to you by Wikipedia and me. 1 year has passed since the death of Tohru's mother, Kyoko. After school, during Tohru's part-time job, Momiji tells her about his mother, his father, and his little sister, Momo. However, Tohru notices that Momiji's mother does not remember him. Momiji recites how, on the day he was born, his mother rejected him after discovering that he turned into a rabbit when she embraced him. After Momiji's mother becomes emotionally distressed to the point of stabbing herself, Momiji's father suggests that it would be better if she forgot about him. Thus, Hatori wiped her memories of Momiji. As a result, Momo does not realize that Momiji is her older brother while she watches him from afar. Tohru is saddened about what his mother did, especially when the story reminds her of the day Kyoko died, but someday, like Momiji, she wants to embrace all her memories and consider even hurtful ones precious. The next day, Tohru, Yuki, and Kyo visit Kyoko's grave with Arisa and Saki. They discover Tohru's grandfather visited the grave before they did because he cleaned it. Yuki notices that despite the deaths of her parents, Tohru still manages to smile. Saki, meanwhile, talks to Kyo, and he is shocked when she tells him that his thoughts are filled with regret and chaos. As the sun sets, Yuki notices and seems to recognize the baseball cap in Tohru's room. Later, Kyo gets close to a sleeping Tohru and whispers, "I'm sorry." And that's our summary.
What an episode.
Yes. Okay. Vampy, do you have a theme?
Probably being able to smile through all of the adversity in life, even if your memories are painful or sad, and you don't want to forget the people you love or good things you've experienced too, and to gain the strength to not be defeated, quote unquote, by such memories. Like how Momiji and Tohru kind of like talk about kind of like the opposite side of the spectrums with like their mom.
Yeah.
Where it's like Momiji's mom forgot him, but he doesn't want to forget her. And then Tohru's mom loved her a lot, and she wouldn't want to forget about her mom even if like her death makes her sad.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's good.
Spot on again.
I just put that sometimes even hurtful memories are precious.
Yeah.
Giana, what's one of your themes or theme?
I basically have the same idea. I said the things that are hardest for us to remember may be the things we need to remember most to continue to grow and thrive as we age.
Yeah, that's a good phrase. Good phrasing.
Oh, thank you. It's getting deep, y'all.
Right? Merch coming soon. No, I'm just kidding.
with like my long ass theme text down a whole t-shirt.
Right. Or on a calendar. Ooh, like the pull ones.
Ooh, wait, stop, a Shoujo Sundae calendar.
Right? Guys, do not steal that idea.
Coming soon, TM trademarked.
Right. If you steal it, I will kill you. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But don't steal my...
Allegedly.
Right. Allegedly. Don't steal our intellectual property. But anyway, sprinkle on top. Does anybody have any? Because I have technically two.
Nothing besides the music.
I'm not sure if it counts as like a symbol or more of just like a theme, but like kind of like the connection between Tohru and Momiji in this episode is they're both characters who can still smile in the face of adversity, and especially in both of these situations connected by their mothers.
That definitely counts.
No, I think that works.
How did the music, how was that working as symbolism?
It's just that we have the new opening and ending music starting in this episode.
Oh.
Yeah, we just tend to note, like, when we get into a new series, we just try to note the music that they're using. And I guess because this is a newer series, they felt the need to change the opening and ending song, which, like, if we're going by, I guess, sort of episodes, like when we were reviewing Oran, the opening and ending were exactly the same for all 26 episodes, but that was an older anime versus this one. We have a new opening and ending. So the new opening is called Chime by Ai Otsuka. And honestly, there is mention of umbrellas in the song, which is why when you like watch the opening, all of the characters have umbrellas towards the end, which is nice. But I personally do not have firm thoughts about the opening. But I did find somebody else who did, who is like on Tumblr. I think that her name is Lily Guinea Black V2, and she has a whole analysis of not only the opening song called Chime, but the ending song, which the ending song is called One Step Closer by Intersection. So I will make sure to tweet those things out so y'all can check it out. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I know I do try to give you like a little added depth. I think from what I can at least remember off of the analysis is that in Chime, you can hear the singer actually make a bell song. So like, you know, like when the school bell rings and all of these characters are in school. So, and there's like reference to the past, the present, and the future within the song as well. And so I think that it's just kind of talking about people being in the moment and that no matter what happens, like they're together and that they should be beside one another. So I think from that, that's like very light gleaming, guys, okay? I think from that, we can just say that this opening is coming more from Tohru's perspective, while the ending song, One Step Closer, I think that's supposed to be coming from the Zodiac's perspective, but that's really all I got.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I just kind of notated vibes. I think it's interesting that this intro song is a lot more upbeat than the first chunk of episodes. I don't know that I necessarily like it more, but it's interesting that they made such a shift to something so much more upbeat. I loved the animation for the opening. It's very captivating. I love seeing everybody's umbrellas and their unique characteristics that match everybody's aesthetic. I really, really liked that. I thought that was very cute. And for the ending music, I love the visuals.
Yeah.
And the like somber piano vocal that unfolds into a ballad. I really liked that. The song just sounded good to listen to. It had very much the typical ending song of an anime vibes, you know, those like chill, calmer, like you could maybe go to the next episode or you could go to sleep for 3 hours, whichever you choose, you know.
Yeah.
So it kind of had that vibe to it. It starts with that gorgeous drawing of Tohru right at the end, which like I just kind of paused and I looked at it for a while because it was so pretty. And then there's all those cute little like Zodiac figurines they show through the rest of it. I really liked it. It's a good little shift here.
Yeah. I really liked it as well. I will say though, based off of what I was able to see from the translation of the lyrics, this new opening is actually sadder than the original opening, or the first one. It just sounds more upbeat. It's like they're tricking you. You think it's like, oh, it's happy. No, this one is sad. Like, it's like, what? Like, are y'all gonna be together in the future? You don't know. It's a question. Umbrellas. Yay.
Yay.
But yeah, I guess that's it for sprinkles on top. So, Giana, what is one of your likes?
Okay, so my first Floats Your Boat could almost low-key be Rocky Road. I just didn't feel strongly enough to put it in Rocky Road. I loved Hanajima's acknowledgement of how much work Tohru has had to put in to remain so strong and optimistic and outwardly happy through her grief, when it's only been such a short amount of time since she lost her mother.
Yeah, I think I have that as well, just them acknowledging how hard Tohru must have worked to be positive.
Yeah, and I just love Hana's overall, love for Tohru.
Yes.
Just the way she so deeply cares about her, and it's evident, but, she doesn't also want to, overstep in any way. I felt that a lot from Hana this episode.
Yeah.
When they talk about, romance at the end of the episode, and she's like, I wouldn't let either of them be with her because they're both emotionally messed up right now, and they're not ready for romance, so...
Yes.
Right. Essentially, Hanajima telling us that they would not be capable of romance until after the curse is broken.
Yes. Oh my gosh, twins. I verbatim put that out.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, Saki essentially is saying that as long as they have chaotic waves, they don't have the capacity for romantic relationships, aka as long as they're cursed. Yeah.
They need therapy.
And that too.
Yes. So much therapy.
So much.
I put that I really liked how Tohru hugged Momiji as they were both crying about their moms.
Oh my god.
Oh yes, that was so sweet.
Which honestly could be Rocky Road too. But I think that just because they all are cursed, that doesn't mean that they don't need physical affection. And so it's just really nice that Tohru was able to give that to Momiji, because I think that Momiji is not able to get that affection really from anyone else except his own dad, if the dad is paying attention.
Yeah, and I think that in that moment, it also super solidifies how much Tohru cares about Momiji, because Momiji just went on and told her, my mother held me and I transformed, and she rejected me and didn't want to live anymore because of it. And here I am telling you my story and you want to hold me even though I transform. Oh, I could cry. I can't. Oh,
yes,
it's so sweet.
So sweet.
Oh.
And you could see Momiji's little bunny tears, and I was like, oh. Yeah.
He's such a cute bunny.
Yeah. I love bunnies. I am one. Anyway. Vampy, what is one of your likes?
I really liked the just framing and overall atmosphere of the scene where Hana is telling Kyo his waves are screaming with regret and chaos in the cemetery.
Yes.
And how her veil gets taken away by the wind and it zooms in on Kyo's disturbed expression. It was a very tense and emotional scene that just makes you want to find out why is Kyo upset? What's gonna happen? It's just a really good suspenseful moment.
I have that too, because this is only my second time actually watching the reboot since it came out, and I had never seen the story through to fruition before because I'm actually an anime only. Please don't come for me. So this is my second time, and on a rewatch, that scene hits so hard and it is so well executed.
Yes,
I love it.
It is. And I just feel at that moment they were truly seeing one another, which is part of the reason why her veil went away.
Yeah.
It's because it's I see you, and then Kyo's finally seeing her too.
Yeah, and he's terrified because of it.
Yeah.
I also specifically love that Kyo asked her if she could see ghosts in the cemetery. Why were you asking that, Kyo? I want to know.
Yeah, as some regret.
Yeah.
Yes, foreshadowing, because we all want to know why.
Yes.
We have an idea why.
It's just so well done.
But yeah.
And then cut to the group having a picnic.
Yes.
Right. I loved the picnic, though. That was actually my last Floats Your Boat, because I think it's very Kyoko, and it's so cute that they spent the afternoon with her.
Yeah. I had it in Rocky Road, although I didn't cry. But I was just she would have loved having people around her and being loud and stuff. And I really appreciated that. Like, it reminded me of when I was growing up. I had a childhood friend whose sibling had died. They died before I knew them. But what her mom would do is, like, every holiday, they would go to the grave and, like, decorate it and stuff. So, like, for Halloween, there was Halloween themed decorations, Christmas, springtime, summer stuff. They would just do that. And I think that that really impacted me as a kid. Although I don't know if, considering my parents and their desire to be buried on a different continent, I don't know if that's ever going to happen for me. But I really like it impacted me because I was just like, oh, like, I would love to do that, to just be like, just because you're gone doesn't mean that I can't see you or I can't eat with you or talk with you or whatever.
Yeah. It's very sweet.
Yeah, I love that kind of thing. I'm not going to like go into a whole spiritual thing, but it's very nice to, in your own way, stay connected to people you've lost.
Yeah, yeah. One of the likes that I had was just that Uo was wearing Kyoko's biker coat.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
I love it so much that she has that. She's so proud of owning it, too.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel if the boys really thought about it, well, I mean, they don't, I guess at this time of the series, they don't know Kyoko. But if they did know who Kyoko was, Kyoko is very similar to Uo.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, if you wanted to get an idea of how Kyoko was, it's like you really should just see how Uo is. Because, like, that's Kyoko down, like, seriously.
Yep.
Do you guys have any more like?
I do not.
Okay. I have, I guess, 2. So one is I like the fact that Uo is able to really, which, sorry guys, listeners, I do kind of go between names. So sometimes I'll say Arisa, sometimes I'll say Uo. With Hanajima, sometimes I'll even say Hana. I'll be like, Hana.
Oh, I call her Hana.
Hanajima.
Yeah, or Hanajima.
Or Saki.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so Uo is Arisa, but anyway, yeah. So something that I liked is that we get to see their analysis of the boys when Tohru and Yuki and Kyo are going back home. And I just love that we sort of get a specific idea or a calling where Uo is just like, oh, like they're getting really soft with her. I'm sure that maybe one day Kyo will confess to Tohru. And it's like, whoa, you see that? And it's funny just because, like, in relation to scenes up to this point of the episode, you get more vibes from Yuki.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of like, that gives you something to think about.
It really does.
Yeah. Oh, and then I put Yuki realizing that he helped Tohru as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but let's move into Banana Split. I wanted to start off by saying that playing cops and robbers in high school is so unlikely.
Yeah, definitely. It had an expiration date of middle school for me.
Right. I was just like, why are you playing? Like, because there's no way. Everybody, even freshmen, they're all posturing at that point to be like, I'm grown, I'm cool, I'm in high school. And it's not happening. Also, very scary idea, Momiji, because you are cursed. I don't think running in the hallway is a good idea.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, if he so much as bumped into one of these girls, it's all over.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
That's why, like, Tohru was so high strung. He's like, oh, you shouldn't. Maybe be careful. Because it's like, what are you even doing right now? But yeah.
Yeah.
Vampy, were you banana split on anything?
Not really.
Okay. Giana.
I don't have any banana split either, but I do for the next episode, so at least there's that.
Okay.
I will say, I guess it doesn't exactly count, but I kind of forgot what happens in that scene, and I thought Kyo was like going to kiss Tohru while she was sleeping, but instead he said I'm sorry in her ear, and I was like, okay, I like that better.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? I don't remember this happening. And I was like, oh, he's just saying I'm sorry. Never mind.
Oh, I would have lost it.
I also thought that Yuki was gonna run in and see that, and I was like, I don't remember. So that's I was confused for a second there, and I was like, oh, never mind.
That would have been like 1 to 100 so quickly.
Yeah, I was
Right.
like, where?
Oh, I think so. I had a couple banana splits.
Okay.
So I'll take over this section, guys.
Yes. Feel the power.
So I think it's just so interesting that Momiji and Tohru will say the most depressing shit and they'll be smiling. And it's like, why are you smiling? Like, I know you're enduring things, but this is sad. Like, come on.
They don't smile, they're gonna have an emotional breakdown.
I guess.
Yeah, it's gotta be masking in some way.
A very strong masking.
Yeah, because I can't see ever being that positive. I don't know if that's humanly possible.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. No way. Also, I had, why doesn't Hatori have lights in his office?
He's like, I want to be depressed alone. In the dark.
Leave me to the darkness of winter.
Right, but, like, what?
Yeah.
With other people? Like...
Right, that is bizarre.
He doesn't want them there long enough, so he's like, I'm just gonna make it dark and they'll leave eventually.
Right.
I thought it was weird when we saw, like, Momiji's mom in the room with him, and it's just like, why are the lights dark? Like, for what?
He's like, I needed some emotional lighting right now.
Mood lighting, darkness.
Mood lighting.
Only darkness.
I'm about to take your memories.
Right. Also, I said that I didn't know where to put it, so I just said it was interesting to see Yuki recalling his thoughts the day that Kyoko died.
Yeah.
Because they were at the gravesite, and then he was thinking about how she ran out and Uo and them ran out, and he, like, belatedly was like, oh, maybe something happened to her family. So it was interesting to see that.
Yeah. I think I meant to make a note of that. I think that's just like a really interesting observation that like until somebody becomes close with you, you kind of realize that like they existed all along until they became prominent in your life. And that's just like his kind of way of acknowledging that.
Yeah.
I love the way that this anime touches on stuff like this that you wouldn't normally think about, but like we all have that shared experience.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Isn't there a word for that where it's like you realize that other people around you have like their own existence and lives?
Isn't it like a German word or something? I can't remember.
I feel like there is a word, and I tried to like look it up, but it wouldn't give me anything.
I know that there's the deja vu, but it's not deja vu.
I think there's like a German word for it, and I can't remember what it is. If anybody listening knows what it is, please tell us.
Or we could ask Ashley from Shoujo and tell. She took German.
Oh, wait, she took German, yeah.
She might know what the word is.
Ashley, please.
Ashley, help us.
Hit us up.
No, I can't wait to... I'm going to tell her that we called for help in this.
Hi guys, Editing Giana's back. If you missed my voice with a cold, hey, I've returned. So I did a little Google and I'm on the Wiktionary right now, and the word is sonder, S-O-N-D-E-R. The etymology comes from a man named John Koenig, who coined the word in 2012 in the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, which aimed to come up with new words for emotions that currently lacked words. So it's inspired by a German word, sonder, which I'm probably not saying correctly, which means special, and French sonder, which is spelled the exact same way. I just tried to say it a little more French, and that means to probe. So the definition for sonder is the profound feeling of realizing that everyone, including strangers passing in the street, has a life as complex as one's own, which they are constantly living despite one's personal lack of awareness of it. And there we have it. Sonder. Back to the show.
But yeah, so that's the last thing that I have for Banana Split. So let's move into Rocky Road. Do you guys have any?
I have a few, actually.
Okay, take it away.
Okay, so my first one is a quote from Uotani. She says, "It doesn't feel real. It feels like she'll still pop out of nowhere apologizing like this was some kind of sick joke." And I feel like that's a really spot-on description of grief.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking the same thing because it reminds me of recently, nobody connected to us would really know about this except for our past video editor, Dylan, because that's actually how I found him. There's an influencer. Her name is is Jackie O, and she passed away at the end of May this year. And she was like 32, just very young. It was very tragic. She was like having surgery and there was complications. It was so weird because it's like, how could somebody that young just die? And like, she has like 3 kids. And so I just felt so bad for her children because they were very young. Like, her youngest child hadn't even turned 1 yet.
Oh my God.
And so it's just like weird. And I've seen different people just talk about how like it just feels like she's gonna just come back one day and just be like, hey, sorry I was gone, or da-da-da-da. But it's not happening. And like, yeah, so I totally get that.
Yeah.
I have... the fact that Momiji just has a photo of his mom with him at all times.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to talk about Momiji's mother, I'm sure we all have that she has no idea who he is, and that she was so disgusted about having a Zodiac baby that she would rather have her memories erased and what it did to her mental health.
Oh, I had that in Hot Fudge.
Yeah, that's in my Hot Fudge.
Okay, that's... Honestly, yeah, as I was writing it, I'm like, this is so sad, but it's also making me mad. So I can see it being both Hot Fudge and Rocky Road. It's heartbreaking for sure.
Yeah.
I put the scene with his dad, where his dad is hugging him, and you can tell that his dad, like, cares a lot about him. He's like, I'll love you, like, 3 times more in her place. Because, like, you could tell he's stuck in between wanting to make, like, his wife and his son both happy. And, like, I don't feel like it was an easy choice to make. Because he doesn't, like, his wife is literally, like, wanting to die and trying to, like, stab herself. But his son, like, you don't want your kid to, like, feel rejected by one of their parents. So he's just like, what do I do? And then and we'll, like, never get to see his deeper thoughts, but I'm sure there was probably, like, some blaming himself, too, because it's his family's curse.
Right.
So it was, like, something that, like, from his side of the family, his bloodline caused. So it's just kind of, like, I don't know, the whole family just makes me really sad. And, like, his sister not knowing who he is, and just...
Yeah.
It's so messed up. I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes me, like, so sad. Honestly, Giana, do you have more Rocky Road?
I have 2 more, actually.
Okay. I'll hold off until Hot Fudge. Okay.
Yeah, so the one that I have is still regarding Momiji. His monologue about not wanting to forget any memories, even the painful ones. And as he's monologuing about this, we see Tohru's reaction to seeing her mother's body the day she died, and she's like crying over her.
Yeah.
That really hit me. That was really sad to watch.
Yeah.
My last Rocky Road is actually Kyo's I'm sorry in Tohru's ear, because I have context now. I teared all the way up, like, as the credits started rolling. I'm like, I still have one more episode to get through somehow.
Right. Guys, if you're watching, we won't spoil it for you.
We won't.
But if you've read the manga, then you probably know what we're talking about. So, yeah.
Yeah, it hits. Oh my God, the fact that he, like, even had the courage, like, while she was asleep to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Full body shivers. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's move into Hot Fudge so I can finally go off.
The applause.
Go off on his mom.
Yes. Oh, okay, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch from the rooter to the tutor. Fuck that bitch. I really, like, my thing is, right, I think when it comes to parents, if you don't think you're able to raise a child that's different, you shouldn't have kids.
Same. 100%.
Point blank, period. Because this can apply to not only just the fact that, you know, the Zodiac curse and everything. This can apply to people that could give birth to children that have disabilities, that have some sort of defect or whatever. And there are, like, people that they don't want to have children like that. And I think that it's just shame on you.
Yeah.
And so for me, I personally don't understand why the father, right? Why Momiji's father didn't just put her in, like, a mental facility and just raise him.
Honestly, yeah.
Because Why would you want to still be married to somebody that would reject your child to the point that they wanted to kill themselves?
That's true.
Okay, wait, that's such a fair point. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Why would he want to continue a life with a partner who is like, I hate this child I just had?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is an innocent child. They had no choice, right? You brought them into this world. And now you're saying you're mentally unstable because you can't handle how different they are? I couldn't be attracted to somebody like that because that child is both them and me.
Mm-hmm.
So by rejecting Momiji, you're also rejecting Momiji's dad.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like at that point, Momiji's dad could have stood up for him and just be like, you know what, if you can't handle it, that's fine. You can go into like the home on a nursing facility or whatever on the inside of the Soma residence or something, since she knows so much.
Yeah.
And keep it at that. But it's just really messed up. And then also when it comes to the dad, because fuck the dad too, why is Momiji witnessing his mom going over to Hatori and saying, oh, the biggest regret I have in my life is giving birth to that creature? Lady, fuck you. Like, ugh.
Yeah, why was he there for that? I didn't even think about, like, why was he there?
He was a baby. Like, why was he hearing that? I couldn't reconcile that. And I think on top of it, to have another child with her and then you see her being normal, that's just so fucked up. I don't even know how Momiji's handling that because, I mean, obviously, Momiji has so much love for his family. So it's just, I don't know, like the way that Yuki and Ayame are estranged, I would see Momiji being estranged from Momo for being able to be accepted in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's just like because this wants to show like all different types of like reaction to like trauma, especially like family dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she made him like a bit different. And also like him kind of being like a parallel to Tohru. Like him, Tohru, and Hatori are all like we're gonna take on personal suffering trio and we're not gonna like begrudge anybody ever over it.
Yeah.
Right.
And like everyone loves them for it, but also please get therapy or something. I don't know.
Right.
Please, like something. Like this is crazy because essentially Momiji and Tohru are able to bond because their mothers are dead. Because the mother that knew him is dead.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know him at all. I think that's so crazy. I mean, yes, you can take somebody's memories away, right? But Momiji looks just like the bitch.
And he has the accent.
Right.
Who's this blonde German kid in this Japanese like business where my husband works that looks just like me?
Right. I would have questions like, who are you? Why are you here? Is my husband cheating on me? What? Like, does she have a sibling? Like, I would think the most wild, because, like, why does this child look like me? Just like me.
Like, honestly, doesn't she think that Momiji is some other Soma's kid? Like, what, does she just assume that the Soma men have a thing for blonde German women?
Right.
I guess that's what his dad told her. Is just kind of like, yeah, some other Soma kid's child that looks just like you and is blonde and German.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, Jan.
Part of it makes me think that, like, that part rejected him so much that her mind is just fine with believing the bullshit. She's like, yeah, I'll believe the bullshit because I've rejected him that much that I don't care enough.
Yeah. Honestly, it just feels like
rage.
It feels like racism to me. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know it's not, but it's like speciesism. I don't know. Xenophobia. Yeah.
Honestly, kinda, yeah. It's like you were saying, like having a child that could be different, you know?
Yeah.
Like in any way. It's really fucked up.
It is, yeah. Yeah. So, like, fuck the mom. Fuck her.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me, oh, isn't your mother? Oh, speaking of mothers, bitch. Speaking of mothers. I don't think you need to talk about mine. I would have been so petty. I'll be like, oh, she's dead. Like,
she's dead.
She is dead.
She looked a lot like you and she's dead.
You don't need to worry about her. Like,
yeah. Just like cold stare, dead, like blank face. She's dead.
Yeah.
Like a child from The Shining.
Right.
Exactly. It goes full horror movie in 2 seconds.
Oh, I would totally do it. I'm just like, she's dead. You don't need to worry about her, and you don't need to worry about me and what I'm doing. Goodbye. But yeah, that's all I have for Hot Fudge. Does anyone have anything else?
No, that's actually it for that episode for me.
Okay, any I Scream, You Scream?
Momiji having to watch them walk home together as a happy little family while he's in the building alone. Well, Tohru's there, but I mean, like, away from them through the window.
God, it's like when Soleil watches me pull out of the parking lot, you know?
Oh, no.
Who's taking him home? I guess Hatori, but like...
Oh, God.
He has to go home by himself later? Like, where does he live?
Oh, that's so sad.
Fuck the daddy. Fuck the daddy.
Oh my God. Justice for Momiji, honestly.
Justice for Momiji, because we never see it, even in the manga. We don't never see his punk ass daddy. When are you doing shit with your son? When?
Right. When are you loving him 3 times as much? From when to when, you know?
When? Like, ooh, he's on my list. Like,
Oh no. He made the list.
He's on my list.
He's on the same list as Tamaki's grandmother, guys. We gotta watch out.
Yes, because fuck that old lady too. But anyway, the last I Scream, You Scream that I had is just, I want them to hold grudges.
True.
Because Momiji should hold a grudge. Hold a grudge, because fuck that lady. I would be doing the worst shit ever. I would just be a terror. Oh, you're gonna come to the building to pick up my dad. I'm gonna be in your house and I'm gonna put Nair in your shampoo. And now you don't got no hair. So we're not similar no more, are we?
Oh my God. Not Nair in the shampoo.
Okay, maybe I wouldn't do that. I don't know. That might be a crime, but I don't know. I'll just hold a grudge. I'm telling you.
Some bioterrorism.
Oh my God.
Just the mama and the daddy are on my list. But let's get into episode 15. I wouldn't say that. Here is our soft serve summary. Shigure brings Tohru, Yuki, Kyo, and Hatori to the Soma's lakeside house for a short vacation. Though Hatori deduces that Shigure wants to tease his editor, it is revealed that Shigure wants Hatori to move on from Kana, whose wedding to another man happened very recently. Meanwhile, Yuki and Kyo have remained silent since visiting Kyoko's grave, causing Tohru to worry. Unable to handle the awkwardness any longer, she apologizes to them, but slips, and saving her causes the boys to turn into their respective animals. The boys reassure Tohru that they were preoccupied and not at all angry at her. When they start arguing with one another, Tohru is happy that they are back to normal. Ayame crashes the vacation the next day and advises Hatori that he should not shoulder the burdens of his memories with Kana alone and be left behind while she moves on happily with her life. Moreover, Hatori should also move on with his own life. The episode ends with Tohru's homeroom teacher, Mayuko Shiraki, gazing at the photo of herself and Kana at the wedding. And that's our summary.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you for the claps. I still struggled even though I partially edited that. Okay. Giana, do you have a theme?
I don't. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'll say my theme and we'll go to Vampy's. My theme is don't let your past stop you from creating your future.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vampy, what is your theme?
So I almost said this in kind of a joking way, but I felt like it was a theme, and it's people are made to support each other.
Oh.
Because, like, you have the scene where, like, Hatori realizes that, like you said, like, Shigure is trying to be considerate by having them all go on this trip to distract him from Kana's wedding, and you have, like, Shikura be like, oh, we should call Ayame, which at first you think it's just to mess with him, but Ayame does show up later, and you could tell that it's because he also came for Hatori's sake, because he cares a lot about him, the three are close friends. And then later you have Kyo and Yuki who are still arguing, like, Yuki's like, I don't like somebody who relies on others. So it's kind of like, Yuki's like, I don't like this because he feels like it's a weakness, but, like, the main theme of the episode is, like, people are made to support each other, like, be there for each other.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
I love that.
Any sprinkle on top, you guys?
Nope. I'm sorry.
It's okay, I don't have any either.
This is the episode that I said, it coming right after Momoji's, where he remembers his mother while she had forgotten him. This time, Hatori is praying for Kana to be happy, even if she doesn't remember him. And, like, Ayame's like, I feel like it's unfair because Kana's able to find happiness without you. Just like how Momoji's mom is, but Hatori is content with that being the case. So this is, like, a string of episodes that's, like, tying, like, him, Tohru, and Momoji's, like, reactions and, like, coping all together. I feel like they're all people that are, like, even if, like, this person forgets me or isn't around anymore, it's like they would still pray for, like, the other person's happiness. And also they need to hold grudges.
They do! They do!
Yeah.
Hold grudges, because also that bitch too, Kana, because in the other episode we already talked about this. I think we did talk about this with Ashley actually, but still, like, when Kana just, like, Hatori goes blind in the eye and he's still trying to be with her and she's just like, I can't handle it. Oh my gosh, take my memories because I can't handle it. What is the point? Why do y'all get with these weak women? You need to get with stronger women. Are you kidding me?
I'd be like, Hatori, tap me in. I'll be there.
Right?
No, honestly, wait. Like, honestly, like, Hatori,
I will be there for you.
Do you need some? Are you okay? Like,
right?
Do you need to call me? Like,
right. That actually gets into the first floater boat that I have. Is Hatori looked extra fine in the start scene? Like, he's just leaning up against the window. I'm like, okay, you can lean up against me too, Hatori, because I'm not scared of nothing.
Right? Akito should be scared of me. Like,
right.
When he's, like, asleep and his hair is all over his face and it's almost like shoujo sparkles on him, I was like,
oh my god.
Yeah.
Release me.
Yes. Our tragic hot doctor.
Turn this into an isekai right now. I'll be there for him.
I'll be there for you.
Yeah. But yeah, so what are some of your likes, people?
The first thing I have is after Yuki transforms in the woods and he's on the tree and him and Kyo are having that argument, you see all the rats coming up and snuggling on him. And it's just, like, so funny the way they come out of the woodwork like that.
Yes, the emotional support rats.
Yes.
They were so cute. I had that as well.
Yeah.
I had, like, the running joke with Jason. And then, like, them completely lying to, like, Kyo and Tohru that it's a bear. And, like, the rest of the episode, they're just like, yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. It's definitely a bear. And Shigure's just fucking lying.
Right.
Fantastic.
Right. Actually, I put that in Banana Split that they were so gullible to believe Shigure, of all people.
Right.
I feel like Kyo's just, like, posturing so hard because he's too embarrassed to look clueless that he's willing to believe.
Right. Right, you're right. One of the likes that I have, it's actually kind of minute and funny, is that the couch in the vacation house, it looked like the old couch that I had in my last apartment.
Oh.
Like, I had an IKEA couch that looked just like that. And I was like, oh, nostalgia from when I lived alone. Wow.
It didn't come with a Hatori, though.
It didn't. Yeah. Very disappointing.
1 star, no Hatori.
Right. Oh, Toru's hairstyle looked so cute.
Oh,
Yes.
it did. Yeah.
Yes.
We love the twin tails.
I prefer it to, like, the ones where she has the 2 bows on the side, if I'm being honest.
Oh, yeah. I love the half up style because I do that a lot myself. So I'm more partial to that, but I did really like the twin tails.
Yeah.
I love Hatori reading Shigure's spicy novel, and Shigure's like, what do you think? And Hatori's like, it's revolting.
How can you be close friends if you don't read your friends' works?
Right.
Doesn't, like, Shigure write, like, some kind of, like, high school smut trash?
Right.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
So, you know what? I'm kind of happy Hatsuri doesn't like what he writes.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to read about these underage girls.
Right.
Stay away from me.
Hattori is so long-suffering. It's just like, kinship. Like,
He has to deal with him and Ayame.
and Akito.
7.
Oh, goodness gracious.
There's no escape.
Yeah. Oh, I loved when Kyo and Yuki just go to Shigure and they're just like, if you call Ayame, you die. Like, we'll kill you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just funny to just see them, like, even though they argue, they're actually so similar that it's funny.
Yeah.
I still hate... Oh, sorry. I was
sorry.
gonna say when they say, like, I still hate this guy at the exact same time.
Yeah.
The unison.
Yeah. And them arguing as animals, I think that was just funny.
Yes.
Oh, that was cute. Yeah.
And, like, Yuki was so sassy. He put his paw on his side while, like, his emotional support rats were going around him. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I love a sassy Yuki moment.
Ooh, and, I'll go to somebody else after this, but Tohru got a paw touch from Yuki because Yuki, like, comes down and then touches her knee to just be like, oh, sorry, I was thinking about other things. And, like, Tohru, for the love of God, you are surrounded by all of these Zodiac animals. You're not playing with, like, the little paw beans?
Yeah.
Like, I would just do that. Like,
Oh my god.
Yeah, it would have been like, give me your paw.
yeah. Play with me as an animal, please. Like, I cook for you all the time.
Oh my god, I can't imagine Kyo's, like, anger at somebody dangling a string in front of him.
Right?
Yeah.
He would be not about it at all, but then, like, the innate cat instincts would kick in and he would kind of want to go after it, but he would, like, hate himself for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would demand it because, please. It's like having pets, but then not having them at the same time because then you don't have to clean up after them. Oh my gosh. There's no litter box. There's no, like, walks for, like, poo or pee. Like, no. Like, they just take care of that themselves so you can just get them being cute. Like, oh my god. Giana, do you have any more likes?
I have two more, and they're both super, super quick. One we already kind of touched on. I just think it's really adorable that Hatori fell asleep reading. I think he really needed that. And I liked that Shigure could see that and, you know, just kind of gave him the book and he fell asleep reading. And also, I know that I guess it's more banana split for you, but I do like the running romance joke between Shigure and Ayame, and the fact that they're like nice and do finger guns at each other is like really cheesy. That's all of my floats are about.
Yeah. No, it's like sometimes I like it, but then on the other hand, it's just part of me is like, why wasn't anybody gay in Fruits Basket? But
True.
Yeah, I truly think Ayame should have been
gay. Yeah. I mean, he literally says, I'm a bottom. So if you know...
Right. I mean, I guess he could secretly be bi. He could be a secret bi-con, but I'd rather it be an out loud bi-con.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Vampy, do you have any more likes?
No, I think that's everything.
Okay. The last ones that I had is I thought that it was really cute when Kyo and Yuki are like embarrassed and they kind of turn away from Tohru in the episode, like when they're in the forest and stuff. Like you can see Kyo's ears.
Yes.
I just love stuff like that. And then also I liked Ayame defending Hatori because he was upset that Kana was just able to move on, which is kind of futile because it's not like she remembers, but that's kind of the point at the same time. But it's like, yes, defend your friend, you know, like it's not fair. Like you need to be more happier than she is.
Yeah. I like to see that too.
Yeah. But let's move into Banana Split. Do you guys have any?
I actually have some this time.
Okay.
So, very banana split on the lake trip being both Shigure's latest trick to his editor, but also a distraction for Hatori for Kana's wedding. It's nice that he wanted to do that for Hatori, but not so nice that he wanted to trick his editor and stress her out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that in Ice Cream You Scream.
Okay.
The editor bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. I like that Hatori did make him call her, though.
Yes. I'm very glad about that, too.
Yeah. I put that... Oh, I said, I'm sorry, but what's interesting about looking at nature?
Oh,
no!
it has a charm.
I mean, you can be awed by certain things, but, like, it's a lake. Like, it looks like a lake. I don't know.
I mean, right now, just because I've been so busy, like, the idea of, like, just going and doing nothing except for standing there and looking at a lake and taking in what the clouds look like and feeling the sun on my skin feels like that sounds like an absolute dream.
Very poetic and nice.
I am such a Pisces moon wherein like I look at the sky and I'm like, it looks like a watercolor painting today. And I'm like driving to work. I'm like, oh, the city lights are just like so nice to pull into the city. Like I that's just how I am. I'm just built that way. It's like both fun and I also annoy myself sometimes.
I think it would be fun if they were, like, swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or fishing or something, like.
Yeah.
Because I think just going out to look at it, like, okay, then what?
Yeah, like what if they brought a picnic?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they just recently did a picnic, but I think that would make more sense if they were going to spend a lot of time out there.
Yeah, because it's just like looking at it. I'm sorry, I've just never been the naturey girl. Like, and I did go to Lake Tahoe before, but the thing is, it's like they had a waterfall. I was looking at shit, I was taking pictures. I was at least doing something and sort of hiking up and down like the rocks. They just went to look at it, and like that was it. I don't know.
I mean, I could see it, but it doesn't have to be for everybody.
Yeah. The last thing that I had, which I just put as banana split, is that we find out that Shigure dated their homeroom teacher.
Yeah.
And that she's the person that called Shigure a ripple on water.
Very interesting.
You know, like, good for her.
Yeah. Because I was just kind of like, But I wonder if, like, Shigure dating Mayuko, if that was during the same time that Hatori was dating Kana.
I could totally see that.
That is a good question.
So I don't fully remember, like, some of this stuff from the manga that happens later, but with the way that the episode framed it, it was like, I hope you find the one next time or whatever, and then it cuts to Mayuko and her with Kana, so I was like, trying to remember, but I can't. But I was like, I feel like even if I don't remember, she's probably gonna end up with Hatori, or at least have feelings for him.
It's possible.
I could totally have seen, like, oh, she had unrequited feelings for Hatori, and then I could totally see Shigure, like, moving in on that while she's emotionally vulnerable and being like, wanna date me instead to take her mind off of it. Like, I could totally see his manipulative ass doing something like this.
Oh my god. Yeah, I could easily see that.
Yeah, same. I think it's possibly like a great foreshadowing if that happens, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, you know, like, Shigure, like, why Shigure? But either way, it's like, of all the people, but yeah. Does anyone have any Rocky Road or Hot Fudge?
I still have 2 banana split.
Oh, okay, let's go to that. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So the first one I have is when Aya shows up and there's like chaos and whatever, they wake up Hatori, who was sleeping so beautifully and serenely on the couch. And I think we talked about being woken up and how that makes us feel in like Whisper of the Heart or something. But like, I'm just going to say again, if I'm woken up, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
So like, you know, it's like so funny and Ayame is there and like there's all this chaos going on, but then it's like, oh, they woke up Hatori, so that's why it's banana split.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm banana split on is some thoughts that Hatori had. Again, it's maybe not as fleshed out as it could be, but it's after Ayame goes on his whole speech to him, and Hatori's thinking to himself, someone else to love. What a foolish thing to hope for. I should be grateful for what I had. I feel like that is so sad and also not a great outlook.
Yes.
Although, like, given his circumstances, it's understandable that he would think that way because of Akito. And the same thing would probably just happen with the next woman he wanted to marry. So it's like, while I don't think that's a good outlook, it's super understandable.
Yeah, Kana and Akito, like, killed his self-worth.
Yeah.
Like, he's not worth, like, suffering for, basically. It's just being with him is only gonna be nothing but suffering, and nobody should have to go through that because he's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh, it's so sad.
I'm like, I would beat Akito up.
Honestly, same.
That's it for me. Sorry, I had a plane going by, so I had to be quiet.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I just have one ice cream you scream, but that's it for me for the episode.
Okay. No one has Rocky Road or Hot Fudge because I don't.
I do not.
Rocky Road was just like Hatori feeling safe and relaxed enough around them that he actually like fell asleep in front of them for once.
Yeah.
That I thought was like very sweet.
Yeah. Very cute, yeah.
Yeah, nothing made me angry for Hot Fudge.
Same. Nothing made me angry either. So I guess let's get into Ice Cream You Scream. I just have 2.
I just have 1. Should I start? I don't know.
I thought Vampy was going to say something.
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't have one.
I wasn't sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was just going to let you guys go first.
Okay. So my one Ice Cream You Scream is that Ayame gives Hatori a picture from Kana's wedding. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
I thought he was an Why? Like, what?
He doesn't need to have that. He doesn't need to see that. I wouldn't want to see my, like, lost love, the love of my life on their wedding day if I didn't have to. I'm literally on a lake trip so that I don't have to fucking be there.
Right.
Bringing me a picture. Literally, no. Like, I guess I could have been hot fudge. I was apparently really mad about that, but like...
Maybe he was like, this will drive him to hold a grudge if I show him this picture.
Oh, wait,
He'll
maybe.
be angry, and he still didn't care. He's like, damn it.
Yeah, no. I would have been mad because it's like, y'all took me on this trip. Now I gotta see her in a wedding dress get married to somebody that's not me. Like, what?
Oh my god.
But you say you like me the best? I don't know, man. I think the two that I have, one is just, the fact that, like, at the start of the episode, Yuki and Kyo, like, weren't talking to Tohru, and so she started being anxious about it. I'm sorry, but if I cook the food that you're eating, you're going to fucking talk to me. Like, you're just going to talk to me. Like,
Yeah.
Who do you think I am? Like, what?
You will say thank you, be appreciative, kiss my...
Right. Kiss my ass. I cook for you every day and you're not talking to me for what? Figure yourself out now. Like, anyway. But Tohru's not going to be like that. But if I was in Fruits Basket, I would be like that. The manga wouldn't even be that long. It'd be like 5 volumes long. Because
It's like moms making food, but they're like their teen angst kids won't eat it. And they're like, how
dare you? Like, what? Eat the food. Like, do you know how my day was today? Oh my gosh, I'm starting to sound like my mom.
Oh my god.
But anyway, yeah. Besides that, I think that Shigure is so evil to his editor.
Yes.
That even her colleagues were telling her not to die.
Yeah.
Because she was on the phone with her colleagues first when she was at his house. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you?
He's such a man-child.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I know. You might have said this in the last episode, Chika, I can't remember. But like, he must be making those publishers so much money because the fact that they keep him signed and like she has to deal with this is insanity to me.
It is insane. Like, Shigure Soma has to be the George R.R. Martin of Japan.
But with shitty smut novels.
Right.
Summer sigh.
Right, and I think the other novel type he writes, because he writes the smut novels on the side.
Yeah.
I don't remember the other type that he writes, but yeah.
Yeah, it looked like, it was just like a black cover. It looked more serious, but I don't think they put a translation up of what the cover said.
Right,
Dang.
yeah. But either way, he has to be George R.R. Martin of Japan to do that because, bro, like, your ass finna get dropped, okay? I'm talking about dying. No, like, also, why didn't her actually fuck her company? Why didn't they just give her to a different author and have somebody else be his editor?
Knowing him, he'd be like, I only want her as my editor because I love torturing her. So if you give me anybody else, I'm not gonna do my work.
Jesus.
Honestly, I could see it.
him. Yeah.
He would totally do that.
He would do
I
it.
hate him.
Yeah. He's not my cup of tea. But I think that is it. That's all of our episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, we did it.
Woo. Thank you so much, Vampy, for coming on and doing this with us.
Yes.
Yes, before we get into that, we want to touch on our Patreon loves before Giana gets into our shout out. We just want to say, like we said in the last Fruits Basket episode, we are now doing Licorice live action. We will be reviewing live action shoujo for you guys. And the first series that we're doing, starting in November, is Hanayori Dango, the Japanese version. So please tell your friends, tell your homies, tell the servers, your neighbor, your banker, that we're covering this. And if they're interested, they need to get on our Patreon to get access to it.
Your banker.
Yeah, your librarian. Yes.
From there, let's go into our patron shout out. So, thank you to all of our wonderful patrons, starting with our Sprinkles patrons. We have Gloves, Akemi, Pete, and PJ. For our Whipped Cream patron, we have Mark M. And for our Hot Fudge patrons, we have Mackenzie, Aaron, AJ, and Mark D. Thank you all so much for your support. It means the world to us.
Yes, thank you. And guys, make sure to follow Vampy. So Vampy, tell the people where they can follow you.
I am Shoujosei World on Twitter and Tumblr, and then I have like a main/side account called Manga Desk, I guess, on Twitter. I basically just post about manga I'm reading though.
Oh, and your pod.
Oh, yep, Behind the Manga. We are Behind the Manga on Twitter and pretty much anywhere that you listen to podcasts.
Go follow Vampy, go follow Shoujosei World and Behind the Manga. And as for us, you can follow us, Shoujo Sundae, across all social media platforms, including Threads and Blue Sky, because we're on there. So please make sure to follow us on there as well. And if you'd like to follow us individually, I'm Chika Supreme. You can find me on Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram. I don't really do TikTok now, but I'm on TikTok at Chika Supreme. That's Chika with a K and not two C's. Giana?
If you would like to follow me, I am trying to escape Twitter and go to Blue Sky. That is my goal. So I'm just straight up Giana Luna with no underscores on Blue Sky, but everywhere else, because they wouldn't let me put underscores on Blue Sky, everywhere else I am at Giana _Luna _, and it's Giana with one N, and that's just across all socials. And I had a song that came out at the end of the summer called Twilight Champagne. You can stream that on any music platform. I'm really hoping to get it past 1,000 plays on Spotify so that my reach gets bigger. So I'll be recommended to more people if we can get it past 1,000 plays. I know we're a few hundred there already, so if we can get Twilight Champagne in more people's ears, that would mean so much to me. But yeah, that is all for me.
Yeah, so make sure to stream Twilight Champagne, guys. It's part of the goals.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess we will see you for the very next episode where we're going to be going over Fruits Basket Season 1. We'll see you then. Bye.